Hey everyone, my name is Tayari Hill and welcome to my project. My MVP is Laocoön and his sons from Hellenistic emotion to Renaissance influence. Um, my presentation will explore one of the most charged sculptures of this ancient world and examine how it communicates intense human suffering and movement, how it exemplifies the Hellenistic style, and how it directly influenced the Renaissance and revival of classical ideas. I'll also compare it to the dramatic Paragon altar and Michelangelo's rebellious slave in showing how of expressions of pain and struggle evolve across time. Yes, and I just love how this project is like it's something that I like. I love art and it's just art history I relate to. And that's the picture of Laocoön and his sons. Laocoön and his sons was discovered in 1506, buried in a Roman vineyard near the Baths of Titus. Immediately it captured the imagination of Pope Julius II, who had placed it in the Vatican. While it stunned viewers then, it continues to today is extremely emotional, intense, carved into the marble. The sculpture depicts Laocoön, a chosen priest, pushed by the gods for warning his people against accepting this Greek wooden horse. Sea serpents entangle him and his sons in a violent struggle. The moment of mythic punishment becomes a deeply human story sculpted between 40 and 30 before Christ BCE by three Rhodian artists, Alexander, Athenodorus, and Polydorus. The work demonstrates technical mastery of both anatomy and movement. You can feel the tension in Laocoön's muscles and helplessness in his sons' bodies. It is storytelling through form. And this is just the sculpture, and it was discovered in 1506 in Rome, believed to be 40 to 30 BC, and the marvel is actually over 8 feet tall. It's a tribute to Alexander Adonis and Polydorus of Rhodes. And that's a picture of him in sculpture. Now, the Hellenistic ideas in the sculpture, our key themes will be emotional suffering, physical realism, and the dynamic movement. And right here, this is a Laocoön's face. And this sculpture is an epitome of Hellenistic art. Hellenistic artists moved beyond the balance of restraint of classical sculpture, favoring drama, emotion, and movement. Here that the shift is on full display. Laocoön's face is wrapped up with agony, his mouth frozen in silent scream, his brows contracted in pain, his body twists violently. Muscles taut, veins bulging. The younger son on the left seems to be unaware of his fate, while the older son mirrors his anguish. And what he means by it is just the photos of his sons, and then the dynamic composition of the colon snakes guide the eye upward in the vertex of despair. This isn't just a technical skill, it's a calculated manipulation of the viewer's empathy. And um, this sculpture allows us to feel what Laocoön feels. The use of patios or emotional suffering is the key here. Hellenistic art often aimed to move the viewer emotionally, just aesthetically. The realism is intentional, not perfection, but pain. To underscore Laocoön's artistic concept, it helps to look at another Hellenistic masterpiece. Okay, and that's the picture. That's the close-up picture of him. And This is the polyolithic altar, and it was built in 160 and 1656 BCE in Pergamum. Depicts the dichotomy between gods and giants, similar emphasis on the drama and movement. To understand his artistic concept, it helps to look at Hellenistic masterpiece, the Paragram altar, built in the century in modern day Turkey. It features a giant frieze showing the battle between gods and giants like Laocoön. The altar emphasizes twisting forms, dramatic tension, and deeply expressive faces. The figures are exaggerated in movement, bending, and writhing across the surface. This frieze creates a sense of visual chaos that mirrors emotional chaos. Both works show how Hellenistic artists blurred the lines between sculpture and theater, and they wanted the viewers to feel drama, not just exhibit. The paragon features like Laocoön are caught in the moments of physical crisis, suffering, resisting, collapsing. They aren't passive, they're human. Even in and also the Olympian gods and giants, Laocoön, the altar emphasized switching forms, dramatic tension, and deeply expressive faces. The figures are exaggerated in the movement, bending, and writhing across the surface. This creates a visual chaos that mirrors emotional chaos. Both works show the how the Hellenistic artists blurred the lines between sculpture and theater, and they caught in physical crisis, suffering, resistance, and crisis. And the shared approach reflects Hellenistic culture, interest in fate, tragedy, and human life. And that's the picture. Rediscovered in Renaissance, rediscovered in 1506, influencing Renaissance artists admired by Michelangelo for its anatomy mastery, sparked a new interest in classical antiquity. When Laocoön was unearthed, it immediately understood as a treasure from antiquity. Michelangelo, already known for his work on the Sistine Chapel, rushed to see it. He was deeply impressed by the nautical detail of the human body. At the time, Renaissance artists were preserving classic proportions, but Laocoön brought something else, the emotional power of Hellenistic style. The sculpture reminded Renaissance thinkers that art wasn't only about beauty, it was about expressing truth through form. This just not just inspired art, but influenced Renaissance art theory, which began to explore how motion and emotion could be sculptured and painted. Laocoön became a model for artistic ambition, as the writer of 16th century said. No modern hand has equated. For many years, it regained standard by which sculpture was judged. And this is Michelangelo, rebellious slave. And in 1513, it was intended for Pope Julius' tomb, and it shows the twitching pose and monumentation reflects Laocoon's influence on Renaissance sculpture. This was a visual timeline evolution of expressive sculpture, the Hellenistic period to the Renaissance, Laocoön, Paragon, alter Michelangelo's works, and it helps realize the emotional evolution of the sculpture. We began with classical art, think Politos and Palisads, where the beauty met symmetry, calm and control. Then in the Hellenistic period, works like the Paragon, art of Laocoön introduced motion, turmoil, emotional truth. This shift placed physical realism over perfection. When Laocoön was discovered, Renaissance artists took these lessons to heart. They combined classical proportion with Hellenistic drama, giving us like Michelangelo Slade, Burman David, and aided places like Rodin the Thinker. In conclusion, why does Lincoln say Laocoön just matter? It's not just about the myth, it's about motion, agony, and fragile beauty of the human form. It challenges the viewer to connect with suffering. That's why it remains timeless. It is a masterpiece of anatomy, composition, and emotional storytelling. It helped define the era of Greek art and sparked the explosion in Renaissance that changed how artists thought about the body and expressive potential. Even today, we look at Laocoön, it's just not about seeing the story, it's feeling it. That's what makes it the MVP, most valuable piece. And here are my sources that I included. the journal article, 2 books, and 3 reliable online sources. And thank you for tuning into my project. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Peace.